Okay, so I've had a few comments recently on my other videos about how I outsource my work on Upwork.com. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact steps that I take to outsource my work on Upwork.com. And also in the second half of this video, I'm going to show you 5 very simple niches that you can have outsourced at Upwork.com. Okay. So I think, as I've said in previous videos, I always prefer to have my interiors outsourced as opposed to just getting the same templates that everyone else gets off of paid websites or even free websites. I like to have a unique interior that nobody else has, and I think that's appealing to a lot of people. So let's go ahead and take a look at how you can do the same in this video. Alright, so let's head over to Amazon.com now, and what I'm going to do is show you these 5 niches that I think are really simple, very profitable, and you can have multiple books made in this niche, and these ones are going to cost you very little to have the interior outsourced. So let's head over to Amazon.com now. Okay, so for the sake of not keeping this video too long, as I'm obviously going to be showing you through Upwork.com as well, I'm just going to whiz through these first 5 niches and then take you over to Upwork and show you what to do there. But the first niche that I'm going to talk about here is blank recipe books. Okay, so blank recipe books for the last 2 years have been quite good for me. I only have about 10 of these books made. But they seem to sell really well during Christmas, and they've been starting to pick up sales during the UK lockdown. I guess people are obviously spending more time at home, making more recipes and things like that. So with this niche now, it's going to be a little bit more competitive than it was when I first uploaded to it. So you're going to have to get a little bit more creative with your cover. So when it comes to the cover for these blank recipe books, I think it goes without saying that you need to be a little bit more creative now than just putting some flowers on your cover. If you're going to do something that everyone else has done already, like flowers, as you can see here, then you really want to make your cover better. If you think you can make your cover better than this, or you can have it outsourced for better than this, then do that. But if you don't think you can make a better cover than, let's say this one here, the one that's selling really well, then you might want to look at doing something different. So when it comes to doing something different, and you maybe feel that you're not the best designer on the planet and you don't have much money and you're looking to do this yourself, you can do what this person here is doing and just put funny phrases on the front. Now they have the swear word in this one, and as I said in previous videos, putting swear words on your book where it makes sense always seems to sell well. So swear words, this sort of edgy book covers like they've done here with the black background and the white text, these sell well, they always sell well. But there's no point in just writing the exact same thing that someone else has. Like, just think of something slightly different and you will stand out, because someone will prefer what you have to say over what this person has to say. But if you say the exact same thing, they're going to go with the one with the reviews on. Okay, so with this niche, got to try and be a little bit creative and maybe a little bit funny if you can do that as well. Okay, so let's take a look inside someone's interior for their blank recipe book. And as you can see, you're going to mostly have one page repeated over and over and over. Then I assume that there's going to be an index page so the person can find the recipe that they're looking for. So for each blank recipe page here, they have like the prep time, the total time, oven temperature, ingredients, direction, and then on the next page you could have some notes. Now, to have this outsourced on Upwork.com, I believe this is actually where I did my blank recipe, but I had it made a little bit more stylish than this. I had a couple so next to each like the prep time or the total time, I had like a picture of an oven or a spoon or something where it made sense, obviously, just to have like a nice graphic inside. And obviously if you find a half decent designer on Upwork.com, you can have this made as well. And then on the next page we just have blank lines to write notes about the corresponding recipe. Okay, so very simple. You can have this outsourced on Upwork.com very quickly. This should take your outsourcer less than a day to do this type of work, like maybe 20 minutes if they're quick enough. And yeah, okay, so that's the first one. Let's move on to the second one now, just again for the sake of not keeping this video too long. And the second one is password books. Okay, so I do indeed also sell a password book. This is how I know how to recommend these niches to you. But again, like since people have been doing these for a couple of years now, the password things, as you can see, back in 2018, 2019, people were doing these password organizer type books, and so there's going to be quite a few out here. but mine still sell. Again, I don't have many of these, probably about 5 or 6. I didn't actually put much effort into it. I wish I did, because these are really good sellers, and it's something I'm tempted to revisit and actually try and do better myself. But again, it's a very, very simple niche. Let's just take a look through some of these here now. Again, as you can see, a theme with these low content books, like putting the swear word on the front, or having something edgy or almost cringy or funny on the front, seem to really stand out to a lot of people. And again, if you can mix that with like a floral design, then you're probably onto a winner here with this niche. All right, so let's take a look inside one of these books and see if it's simple enough for us to outsource on Upwork.com. Okay, so this person's here, this one that has 824 reviews, is literally blank pages. From what I can see, this is just a blank lined notebook here. So what I have in my password book is a little section on each page that says what the website is, and then what the password for the website is. Now, I personally think the idea of these books is absolutely terrible, having all your passwords in one place, but they're selling, and that's all that we care about. So again, yep, there's your second niche that you can very quickly and very easily outsource on Upwork.com. Okay, so the third niche here, we have a very long tail keyword that we can target very specifically. If you're interested in this, obviously do your research first. But I did publish in this last year. I've not done it this year because I've been super lazy, but this is a really great long tail keyword for this niche, which is Pocket Planner 2021 to 2022 for purse. So for the most part, this is going to be for women that want a small planner that can fit into their purse. And as you can see here, rankings for these books are very good, anything Pocket Planner related. And the thing is, what I love about this long tail keyword that we've gone for here is that not many people are actually using the word purse, and I know that it is something that people are actively searching for. So if you make a 2021 to 2022 Pocket Planner for purse, that's very specific. It's got a keyword in it that people are searching for, but people aren't necessarily publishing in. Then you're probably going to do quite well when you're probably going to show up on the first page for this term. So again, let's take a look inside. Now, when I had these ones made, it did cost me a bit more. I think it cost me $10 to $15 to have the interior made, because it's not a one-page job. There are a few different types of pages. Obviously, you have 2 years worth of editing here. So let's take a look inside and see what other people are doing. Okay, so at the front of your book, you'll have your standard contact name, then some passwords. Then most Pocket Planners, or most planners, they have this yearly overview, and then a list of the holidays for the upcoming years. And of course, you have the main part of your interior, which is the calendars here, where people can write their dates and whatnot. So obviously you have January 2020 all the way through to December 2022. Sorry, that's January 2021 to December 2022. Okay. So again, for the most part, it's going to be repeat pages, but with different months, obviously. Like I said, it's going to cost you a bit more because your outsourcer is going to have to do more work in terms of putting in the holidays and making sure, always make sure that the dates are absolutely spot on before you publish this onto Amazon. It's a mistake that I've made early days with my Pocket Planners. I outsourced and I didn't check, and someone had put the dates in incorrectly. Okay, so niche number 4, again, another niche that I've published in, and that is wedding guest books. Now, usually at this point of these being quite popular and in a market that I think is borderline being saturated at the moment because these are so easy to make, I would normally say I wouldn't recommend doing this. However, with the pandemic coming to an end, hopefully, I think a lot of people are going to be planning their weddings, and I do think this is a good time to maybe just upload a few of these, 5 to 10 of these, and just see how it goes. But again, this is something that you can probably risk your time to reward ratio with, because these are so easy to make. Like, the covers are so simple, as you can see here, and you can have these outsourced. Maybe you could do this as like a side project, and just see how it goes. But again, these are super easy to make. Let's take a look inside someone's book here. So obviously you probably know what a wedding guest book is. People just have this out on the side at the wedding for guests to just write their best wishes for the couple inside. And as you can see inside, it is literally just lined, and they have this sort of fancy-ish frame around it, and that's it. That is pretty much the entirety of these books. Now, most of these books are done in this sort of rectangular shape, so it is a 8.25 by 6 inch size. So if you're outsourcing this, then you want to make sure that your outsourcer knows exactly the dimensions that you're going for with your book. Always decide that first, obviously, before you outsource your work. Okay, so moving on to the fifth and final simple niche that we're looking at here is the checking account ledger. Now, I like this because very specifically, this keyword isn't that searched for on Amazon.com. As you can see, as I type it, there's only 539 results. And if we look through the independently published books on the first page, we can see that the rankings here are really, really good. 31,000, 87,000, 116,000, 54,000, 650,000, 53,000, 62,000. So, you know, looking at this, 15 reviews, not many reviews. 74 is not that many in the grand scheme of things. 67 is not that many again. So, you know, with this niche, you could potentially get onto the first page here, and it's super simple to make these. And as you can see, what people are doing with this type of book, they're trying to take a page from the interior and use it as the front cover as well, if that makes sense. So as you can see, the front cover here is blatantly just a sample from the book inside, which I guess makes it look a bit more professional. But let's take a look inside quickly. Okay, so again, as you can see, very simple design. And when it comes to outsourcing stuff on Upwork.com, you can always just send, like, if you don't know how to describe this to someone, you can always just send them either the link to someone else's, or just take a screenshot of someone's book here and then just send it to your outsourcer on Upwork and say, look, I need something similar to this. And always say to them, can you make this look a bit more professional? Can you make this a bit more stylish? You know, always try and add something to the interiors just to make it different from what other people are selling. Okay, so moving on to the second part of this video, where I'm going to show you how to outsource these interiors or any interior that you want to upload onto Amazon from Upwork.com. Now, Upwork.com is the only website that I've ever really used successfully to outsource good quality interiors for a decent price. And with Upwork.com, you're going to get a lot of interest in your job offerings. It's just the one that I always go to. It's one I'm always going to recommend and probably always use in future. Okay, so first things first, you need to sign up to Upwork.com. So you can come across to Google and just type in Upwork. UPWORK. And then it's going to be the first link here. You can ignore the ads and just click on Upwork.com. So here we are at Upwork.com, and the first thing we need to do is to sign up. Just go to the top right here and click sign up. And then you can go ahead and get your free account. You can either continue with your email address or you can sign up through Google. So I'm just going to sign up through Google quickly. Okay, so I'm just going to use a fake Google account here. So once you've typed in your Google address here, you can just select the country that you're from. Obviously, I'm from the United Kingdom. And then select I want to, and then just click on hire for a project. And then just click on yes, I understand and agree, and create your account. Okay, so once you've created your account, it's going to bring you to Upwork's main page here. Now it's just going to almost spam you with a list of outsourcers here. Just ignore these things. What you want to focus on is how to post your job and how to check who's applied to your job. Okay, so the first thing you want to do after you've decided what niche you're going to go for. So for the sake of just using an example, let's pretend that we're going to have a blank recipe book interior made. So just come up to the top bar here where it says jobs, and it's going to bring up this section here, and just click on post a job. Okay, then that's going to bring you to this screen here where it's going to ask you to write a headline for your post. Now, with anything that you do on Upwork, I think the problem I've seen with people here is that they take so long and are so specific about what they want that it just takes up too much time. And you don't have to act like this is the most important thing on the planet, because it isn't. Like most of my postings, I don't even have good English in them. I just bang them out really quickly. I just say what I want, And I get plenty of people that want to earn a little bit of money, and that can do this job. So I think that's the key thing to just remember here, is that people don't care that much about how you present your listing. They just want money from you, and that's fair enough. So we're just going to write what we want as the headline. So if we're doing the blank recipe book, let's go ahead and just type interior for blank recipe book. And what we can do is just make sure people know that it's simple. So a simple interior for blank recipe book. And just click next at the bottom right. Okay, great. What skills does your work require? So this is going to be graphic design, as it's already suggested a bunch here. So we can just click on graphic design here. And again, don't worry too much about selecting the absolute best and most relevant categories here. Just go through it, get on with it, and find people that can do work for you. Click next again. Okay, next it's asking us to estimate the scope of our work. So we can just go ahead and say this is a small job. How long is it going to take? 1 month, less than 1 month. What level of experience will it need? This is going to be entry level. Then location. Always click worldwide. There's plenty of people that can do this job across the world for you. Worldwide. Ignore this section here about regional country preferences. Okay, so with budget, I always put, I never put the hourly rate as my budget. I've never used that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And I always just project budget here. Oh, sorry, always click on project budget here and just go ahead and type the absolute minimum for these type of interiors, which is going to be $5, I think is the minimum still. Let's just try. Yeah, $5 is still the minimum. So let's just go with $5. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to pay $5 for every single interior that you make. It's just the minimum here. Okay, so click on the bottom right where it says review job post. Okay, so that brings you to this part of your job listing where you just have to describe what it is that you're looking for. Again, don't take too much time doing this. Just tell people exactly what you want. And now when it comes to an interior that you're not quite sure how to describe, like we said in earlier on in this video, you can always just direct someone to the Amazon listing that you're interested in. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've come back across to Amazon.com, and let's say that I found that the interior inside this book was one that I wanted to not copy but take some inspiration from. I'd go ahead and just copy the link here of the listing and then send it back over to Upwork, ready to paste in as an example for people that read this job to follow if I accept them. So describe the job. What is it we're looking for? I always just say, hi, looking for. Okay, so I've just gone through this and very quickly written out a description. Now, for some reason, I don't know if it's because I've made a new account here, but it's not letting me put a link in the description to show someone the example page. Now, I don't know if this is a new feature because I've not outsourced anything for a couple of weeks now. But again, it doesn't matter too much. So in this, I've just said, hi, I'm looking for simple interiors for a blank recipe book. I would like 5 variations of this simple one-page design. So that's $1 per page design. And I will show an example interior that I would like you to take inspiration from. So since I couldn't paste that link into here to show them, what I'm going to do is once I hire them, you then get the option to sort of chat with them. So once I can chat with them, then I can send them some examples of what I like, and then they can go ahead and take inspiration from that. And again, we can discuss any changes that I need after I've hired you. Thanks, Chris. So again, don't take too much time with this. Just say exactly what you want. Show them an example as and when you can. And that's what you need to do for this part here. And if you scroll down here, you'll see that you have the option to change some of these things here and ask screening questions and advanced preferences. Just ignore this. It's just a waste of time for what we're looking for. And I've also found that the budget has to be $5. So that's why we're saying you can make 5 variations of this simple design for $1 each. Or what you can do is just outsource. You can post a job more generic and say, hey, I'm looking for multiple interiors for different books, and then just give them a load of different books. So like the 5 that we've just shown, you could do that all in one listing if need be, if that makes sense. So instead of doing, hey, I need blank recipe book in one listing, I need password logbook in the next listing, what you can do is just be a bit more generic. Be like, I need interiors for certain types of book. simple books that can be made really quickly. And then, you know, if you find someone that can do one of these well, they can definitely do every single one of the ones that we've just gone through in the video. So once you've done that, scroll all the way down and click post your job now. Okay, so once you've done that, it's going to say congratulations, your post is live. So ignore all these ones here. This is just suggestions for people that do graphic design. What you want to do once you've posted is come up to jobs again at the top and then click on all job posts. And that's going to bring you to this page here where it's going to have the number of proposals, the people that you've messaged, and the number of people that you've hired. Now, obviously, since I've just done this, I don't have any, but I'd imagine, you know, I'll give it a couple hours. I'll probably have five or so job offerings here. And what I'm going to do quickly is I'll log into my actual account where I already have jobs being listed, and I'll show you what the proposals pages look like as well. Okay, so I've just come across to my account here. As you can see, these are jobs that I've had posted. So I'm looking for people to make short stories for me. So that could be another niche video soon, we'll see. And funny soccer quotes, which again, if you watched my last video here, you can see that I recommended the football niche and the would you rather niche. So obviously I have books out in the would you rather already, but it's something that I'm looking at revisiting again. And as you can see, I've got plenty of proposals for this here. I've already messaged one. So a book of football quotes, I have 8 people that have made proposals to work on this job for me, and I've not messaged any of them because I didn't like the initial messages that they sent. Okay, so once you see a few numbers popping up here on the proposal section, what you can do is just click on them and see who has sent their job invites to you. So once you've clicked that, it's going to bring up this page of the people that are interested in working on this project with you. And as you can see, you're going to get people from all across the world. So from the United Kingdom to Tanzania, you're going to get lots of people applying for your jobs. So you can just scroll down through and see how many people have applied for your job and see how much they are willing to spend on the project. So I tend to disregard anyone that doesn't put any effort whatsoever into their cover letter. So a lot of the people that are looking for work on Upwork.com, they'll copy and paste the same cover letter to every single person. Now, what I look for when it comes to hiring someone is someone that takes specific note of the work that I'm looking to have made. So I'll just give you a couple of examples here, and I don't want to sort of shame anyone on Upwork for doing their thing, but I can just show you what I like and what I don't like. So for example, the cover letter of this person, if we just click, we can go in and see. So I'm not going to read this out in its entirety, but it's very vague. It's probably made as a copy and paste to multiple clients. So as soon as I see that, I tend to just not bother with these type of people. Now, if we look below here, we can see, hi Chris, I can help to create a funny soccer book. I'm a soccer fan, etc., etc. I've been watching various tournaments, blah, 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 blah. So this is someone that I'd be way more interested in because he's taken specific note of the work that I'm interested in. So obviously I've not replied to this person yet, but I might just do that after I see some samples of their work. Okay, so if you're doing interiors, obviously that's going to be a little bit different to funny soccer quotes. Then they should already have something made. And if the interiors are simple enough, a lot of people will actually just say, hey, I'm going to make you an example interior, and then you can decide whether you want to pay for it or not. But if they're not willing to do that, what you can do is just scroll down and see their portfolio. And when it comes to people that do graphic design, they'll tend to have quite a lot uploaded on their portfolio, especially if they're good at doing simple designs, which most of them will be. Then you can check out their portfolio just by clicking on each one. You can also check out above their work history and see what star rating they got. And also there'll be a section around here somewhere. I don't think this person has one because they've only done one job, but it will say what percentage of jobs that they take on that they actually complete. So for me, I look for anyone that's completed over 80% of their jobs given to them. Okay. So if they don't provide any samples of their work, or you can't see any samples of their work in their portfolio, just go ahead into this box here and message them and say, hi, can you provide me with some samples of your work, or can we do a sample order? Now, for the sake of a few dollars, you can go ahead and have a sample order made. Like, even if you have to waste $5 on one interior, you can, if you get a good enough outsourcer, you can work with this person for a long time on all of your covers, and then all your color covers of all of your interiors in future as well. So it will get to a point where you say, hey, I'm going to hire you $10 to do my next 10 interiors, or my next 5 interiors, depends what you two agree on. I don't look for simple interiors. I don't look to spend more than $2 to $3. So if someone's trying to charge you like $10 per interior, just move on to someone else, because honestly, this is work that people can do incredibly quickly, and simple graphic design is not worth like $10, $20, $30 per hour. It's not worth that at all. It's too easy, and it's we look for a low price with these. Okay, so once you've done your back and forth on the messages with your outsourcer here, then you can go ahead up to the top right and just click on Hire Freelancer. And then that's going to bring you to the Hire page here, where it's going to have all your terms. So payment options is going to be fixed price, pay a fixed price for your project. Now, you can change this if you've decided on a different price than what you originally posted. So if you said, well, let's do 30 interiors for $30, you can just click the little pencil and then change that to whatever price that you've agreed on. Okay, obviously I don't know how much you're willing to pay, or what product you're having made, or how many you're having made, or what outsourcer you've selected. So this bit will be up to you and what you two decide. And then of course you're going to go ahead and deposit the money for the project. And if you've decided upon a date, which I recommend that you always do, so that they have a target to shoot for, and it's usually, for me, it's a couple of days after the hiring date. Just click the date that you want. So I'm going to go with Wednesday there, and scroll down through, just make sure everything's in order here, etc, etc, etc. Then click yes, and then click on hire. And obviously I don't want to hire this person just yet, because I don't know what they're capable of doing. But once you're happy with it, just go ahead, click that tick button here, then click hire, and that will hire the outsourcer. Okay, so that's it. You've gone ahead and you've posted your Upwork job, and you've gone ahead and hired someone. So once you're back at your main screen here on Upwork, you can just hover over jobs and then click on all contracts to see what jobs you currently have going, what jobs you've put money into, what jobs you need to make sure that you pay for, etc, etc. Obviously I can't go over to mine because I have all my contracts in there that I don't wish to share, but that's a section that you're going to afterwards. And once the person has delivered your work, you can just click on your messages here, and you can then go in and just review what they've done before you actually release the payment. So the payment goes into a sort of middle location first, and then you have to accept that after it's been delivered, so no one really misses out on anything here. So if you're not happy with the work, you can just go ahead and message them and say, hey, can you just change this quickly? And then once you're happy with it, you can just accept and pay the contract, pay the money, and yeah, then they'll get the money and you'll have your interiors. Okay, so again, that's another super long video. I wanted to make the Upwork section just because a few people were asking me if I could show how I have interiors made on Upwork. So for those people that were interested in that, I hope this has helped you. If there's anything more specific that you need to know, just go ahead and shoot me a message in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can with whatever answers I know. Okay, but that's it. Thank you for watching. If you think this has helped you and you'd like to look at these niches and you're interested in outsourcing someone on Upwork.com, go ahead and, if you can, like the video. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead. That'd be great. That really helps me out. And again, there'll be much more on the way very soon.